Hey guys, Zach Pinnell here to answer a question from Kiora. People who tried to start your own business and failed, what's your story? It's the question. I probably started 40 to 50 businesses over the last 10 years. I started when I was in middle school, 13 years old, and now I'm 24 years old. Most of those, the vast majority of those failed nearly immediately within like a month because they were all small like e-commerce or blog concepts where I thought that I could get the traffic. I thought that I would convert the traffic at X percentage, and I thought that I'd make a lot of money. And the goal was really just to get something out there, get a website out there real quick, test out my hypotheses, and then quit if I was wrong or keep going if I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. When I was 20, I decided to start an app with a friend. I'd never done anything that involved any development, like software development, that I couldn't handle myself, like a WordPress website. This was a iPhone app that a friend and I had an idea for. We wanted people to be able to pay their cover charge at the bar. It was a big thing for us. Everybody, freshman, sophomore, junior, at my college had fake IDs. Everybody was going to the bars early, before the age of 21, which is when you're supposed to wait till, of course. So we built this app. We paid somebody $150 an hour to build this app. It cost us maybe $5,000 or $10,000 to build this app. And the app allowed people to pay their cover charge for the bar on their phone. So there was no need to go to an ATM to get cash. There was no need to bum off your friends for cash to pay the $5 cash cover charge at the door, because you could pay through our app on your phone. That was what we kind of considered our MVP, was that you'd be able to pay for your cover charge on your phone. And that's all fine and dandy and great. And the idea was get a lot of users on this thing, make sure everybody on campus knows about this. There's about 30,000 people at our school. And eventually you would implement this affiliate model where people are taking surveys, people are signing up for email lists, people are doing all these things that we would get compensated for on the back end, because there's things called CPA deals, cost per action or cost per acquisition, affiliate deals, where somebody takes a survey and we get $1 for that survey. Well, the idea was that you'd give them points for taking these surveys in class, and they could redeem these points for cover charges at the end of the week or at the middle of the week whenever you were going to the bars, and be able to get free cover charges, get free entry to the bars. And that was going to be a very, very expensive part of the app to develop, just to get this working prototype where people could actually pay to get in on their phone instead of paying in cash was $5,000 or $10,000. So we never actually made it to the point where people were getting free covers, and basically we would have all of the say over where people went to the bar every weekend and every weeknight, because we're the ones that name the price for the cover charge. We determine how many points it takes or whatever. And so we never got to that point because of what I consider a very elementary misunderstanding of how things work. We had a few problems outside, just like general financials and forecasting, including the fact that these are cash cover charges collected, and you can imagine that bar owners might not necessarily be incentivized to start collecting collecting credit card charge covers that are trackable by the IRS. When it's cash, they can report whatever they want. And I'm not saying or suggesting that anybody was skiing taxes, but it was very, very likely, and it made it very, very difficult to partner with bars to get them to let us have people come in and pay their cover charge with our phone. They were also very suspicious of us as to whether or not we were actually compensating them for all of the cover charges that were purchased through our app. There was no transparency there. This was a really overwhelming business for us. I'd say this is like our third reason we failed outside the primary reason. Very overwhelming because it was very public and we were running this business in front of everyone. Before, when I do my dropshipping and e-commerce and affiliate businesses, it was kind of private to me. I might tell people what I was working on at the moment, but in this case, the idea was that everybody on campus knew what we were doing and knew about it, because that was kind of crucial to our success. And so that pressure of being there at the door and standing there and seeing everybody we know and everybody we don't know coming through, using our app or not, and looking like, it was just a lot of pressure. The main reason that we failed is because we didn't consider how much money each user could earn us over a lifetime, much less in the short run. How much would it cost to acquire each new user? We actually ran a really, really solid strategy over Twitter where we just follow and unfollow people who were following the accounts for the bars in town. And that worked really, really well. We ended up with 2,500 followers within a month. We did $5,000 or $10,000 in cover sales where we made 50 cents per cover. But ultimately, it was costing us more money to acquire users than we would make off of them in the long run. And we ran out of cash. There was no way. I mean, if we eventually made it to the point where we could develop the app and make it so people could earn free covers, that would have been all fine and dandy, but there was no feasible way for us to get there. We were just bleeding cash by spending $1,000 on an event to get 500 people to download our app. It's $2 per person, and then where are we going to make that up? Where are we going to make that $2 up when we only make 50 cents per cover purchase? And so we didn't make it, but it was a very, very valuable lesson in that you need a good sized lifetime value, overall profitability in the long run, a low enough acquisition cost for each customer, but also the ability, if your acquisition cost is all paid up front to get the users, you need the financing to be able to get you to the point where you're actually seeing the payoff. And that's where we kind of lost it.